topicality.
How many off?
Does topicality turn us off?
Yes.
4.
4 off and then?
Case.
What were in case?
Economy and then Russia.
Economy and then Russia. Okay. Whenever you're ready.
对啊，总共5张啊。Yeah, sorry about it.
Okay, ready, go. Interpretation and violation. Transportation infrastructure is strictly defined as facilities and transport. This includes security, law enforcement, and military support. Music 2010. Transportation infrastructure includes system of facilities that support massive transit, rail transportation, civil aviation, and this excludes spending associated with the infrastructure but does not contribute directly to the provision of infrastructure facilities, certain strictly defined infrastructure services. Examples including spending outlays for homeland security, law enforcement, and military functions. Icebreakers serve military communication consideration role of all of those are untopical or 2013. This concludes 2012. This study concludes the future capability and capacity gaps will significantly impact marine and environmental protection. The Commission domination contributed to these significant the gap to the polar ice breaking capacity. Violation: the app is a board for the transportation infrastructure. It does not directly improve one of the systems, and it upgrades the function of an associated system for purpose of military use, not civilian transit. Reason for our definition because it allows reason limits. The app already the lab allows anything that existing infrastructure more effectively. That means they could increase the pay of construction workers or other related support explodes the next research burden. Ground associated with eliminates core DA is not perceived in the same way as transit doesn't exclude the same elements not in the literal base. It eliminates the next generics. Extra topicality: even if icebreakers are topical investment in military grade icebreakers is not a transportation issue because transit is strictly civilian. Allowing military and law enforcement upgrades gives the app unique, unpredictable advantage ground as they can use the outweigh or turn the negative topical ground, and they claim based on marine protection. Immigration, yay. Immigration form uniqueness now. The top of the agenda Obama pushes will force a compromise. SD's 2013. Obama's going to tackle immigration reform in his second term. Report quotes his official saying president is going to move fast. Obama will reiterate his commitment to tackle immigration and say this will affect the transfer legislation in order. Plan unpopular former popular bills. Even drain political capital. 2012. 2012 will be diminishing of expectation face a general election due to President Obama's failed to propose dramatic incursion to transfer things. Political capital key. That was more news 2012. Whatever really matters is we put muscle into the task. Bush failed because the Senate Republicans' reluctance is the major reason why the president needs to invest in this fight. Key to competitiveness, Bush until 2009. Economic viability, diplomacy, and national security. The U.S. has attracted more than an inordinate share of talented and hardworking immigration. The contribution has helped maintain the scientific and logical leadership that founded the national security. Great Power War, Berger, 2009. The economic performance is studied economists. Economic provides the foundation of great power. Capitalism critique. Transportation leads to more forms of capitalism that destroy local economies. Marvel, 2007. Entrepreneurial capitalism continues to play the role in the system where the combination of larger shops are championed by the government, retail or mom or pop shops donate the economy. Capitalism causes extinction while entrenching racist and sexist violence outweighs everything about the act. Brown. The profit drives the inherent in capitalism unless it exceeds all major skills in our time. The threat of nuclear war, which can destroy all humanity, grows the spread of nuclear weapons, space race, weaponry, and a military doctrine that justifies their premarital wars without an end. These abuses serve to maintain grip on capitalists on the power. Vote alternative. Vote negative as a refusal in order to create fissures and cracks in the capitalist system. How it 2005. Capitalism is a catastrophe for humanity with a revolution that takes place in interest in capitalism, a revolution that introduces space in the world while capitalism still exists. The world is full of rebellion, of people saying no to rebellion. The principal point state is the society that we want to create. Counterplan. Text, the Alaskan government should invest in the construction of 6 heavy-duty icebreaker ships and 4 medium icebreaker ships in order to donate to the U.S. Coast Guard. Condition that the U.S. Coast Guard uses the ships to satisfy Saturday icebreaker missions. Alaska can do the plan without triggering congressional budget battles. The Martin 2000. Alaska can help the cash-strapped federal government to use icebreakers busy in the northern place. Given the climate and DC funding the accreditation of the new vessels present a significant challenge. Alaska can afford the plan without deficit spending, Harris Sudan law. The soaring price of oil has converted Alaska to 3.4 billion surplus, which can add to the 11 billion the state already has stashed in a rainy day fund. Also, the Alaska can escape the politics because it is under the politics is only in the government, and this will affect the RDA about immigration because it's under the Alaskan government, not the U.S. government, which means that it has nothing to do with immigration. Economy advantage answers. Icebreakers are key to multiple other programs. Ensure the growth in Great Lakes program. Great Lakes down low. In some economic times, the imperative that will maximize the value of the Great Lakes. Nearly 700 projects underway to address serious problem facing the Great Lakes, including shade and drought and aquatic species such as Asian carp. No war. History disapproves casualty of inland crisis and war. No economic crisis can explain the violence of he's all the century. Not countries affected by the Great Combustion can be offensive regime. Not all as a regime can create in wars. Thus, empires prove our argument. Miller 2000. After studying 93 episodes of economic crisis in 22 countries, most of the conventional wisdom about political and economic crisis may be wrong. So, the severity of economic crisis bore no relationship to the collapse of regimes or outbreak of violence. Shipbuilding answers. Lack of skilled workers workforce derails shipbuilding is more important than the plan. Responses of shipbuilding companies have confirmed that crewing vessels and streamers is a growing global problem. The shipping industry is striving to make a career more attractive for young people, but face numerous challenges including separation from friends, family, all at sea, and the desire of generation want to be socially networked at all times. Oil prices and capacity hurt shipbuilding now. See it 2012. Oversupply on these vessels and oil prices of falling freight rate among the wars are discussed by ship companies. Container traffic will slow down 1.5% in 2012, in contrast to 8.3 growth conventional and period. The plan is insufficient. Poor credit ratings will make U.S. shipbuilding uncompetitive. Rubin 2012. Already brand eroding credit quality, many U.S. ship companies will face greater challenges in the near future as their older fleets continue to age. Russia advantage answers. No resources are voted for conflict. Cooperation consistently prevails, and our evidence is all fear margarine. Fries 2012. Well, war and conflict still favor the overwhelming weight of this evidence suggests that the governments of Arctic states are most massive organizations, broken message, money is still scarce. Chatter about military activism is not backed by much. Russia needs assurance. Oil majors of the neighboring states and indeed is showing signs of warning for governments. Even U.S. and Russia are finding opportunities to work together. No war. No chance of war. Book 2012. The doctrine behind Russia's Arctic base is selective, but war is exceedingly unlikely because Russia would lose. View serves and more advances and more of them, and then the crews are better trained. Unlikely that Arctic nations will become killing each other for low-key territorial excuse. Really destroys reality hard at 2012. The big forecasts have overlooked the positive developments. Arctic states have been pledged to dissolve disputes in an orderly process and a peaceful resolution and major territorial conflict, concluding binding agreement to cooperate and search and rescue. For these reasons, please vote for the negative.
All right, awesome.
What is the status of your counterplan?
Conditional.
Conditional? And how about critique?
Additional.
Okay. So how does, can you explain your counterplan?
Okay, my counterplan is like a state's counterplan, but it says Alaska because Alaska, they have a huge surplus because since they have a lot of oil, so they earn a lot of money from exporting oil, so they can do the plan. So they could do the plan because they have money and they have nothing to do with the federal. They have nothing. Their government has nothing to do with federal government, so it escapes the politics via and other stuff.
Does it have some territory in the Arctic?
What?
Does it have territory in the Arctic?
Alaska is in the Arctic.
It is.
It's up. It's at the very top of. It's at the very top near Canada. At the top of Canada.
I need that. Okay. Okay. So, can you explain why it is a poor red button and like
What?
case attack? You said something about red button.
In my case.
Yeah.
Which one was it in? Economic or version? Red button. Wait. You mean the sign of warming up or something about a red button?
Something about red button.
I think that. I think it was on a shipbuilding, you know. I'm not very sure. Because right now, you heard something about red button, but from my others, I can't see anything about the red button.
Okay. How are you sure that don't you think that if we don't go to like the Arctic and build icebreakers, there will be
Alright, it's time. Alright, ask prep.
yeah.
Alright.